I am Liliana Trevizan. I was born in June 6, 54 in Punta Arenas, Chile. Magallanes is the region of the Patagonia in the south of Chile. Yes, and I spent that in that very special, beautiful place in the Patagonia. I went to a Catholic school run by nuns, and I acquired from them all the discipline, and I read a lot, and so became involved in politics at 15, 14. And my Catholic upbringing was all about social justice. That's the way that I understood it. I was like always questioning and questioning the religion. And I don't know, I think that we understood the notion of making equality as the most important value. When I was 14, I'm saying you that I started being in politics, this very small political party, that the whole point of that party was it came from the Christian Democrats, but it was ideologically, the notion was that you could be Christian and Marxist at the same time, and we will bring the values of one to the other, you know. Because of the political activism, my informal education was amazing. 14 years old, and I would have political education by guys that were senators of the Republic. Don't remember. That's how natural it was that I don't remember exactly how. The election on agenda happened when I was in 11th grade, and so I did door to door, and walk for the election of agenda. Because of my age also, at the time I believed with all my heart that the country was going to be just and that everybody will have jobs and opportunities and education. And so the notion of being a socialist over there, it was very important. Allende was saying con vino y empanadas, no? We were going to do it in the Chilean way without, peacefully, basically, that's what it meant. I never thought that this would happen. No, I didn't see it. I wasn't aware enough or intelligent enough or whatever you want, or mature enough to see it coming. That's what I thought. Something that we saw, this doesn't exist. We are not part of this. This only happened in other countries, but we are so civically well educated that this will never happen in my country. I never thought it was that bad. Never thought it was that bad, really, till it happened. And I wasn't in Santiago for the coup. So I didn't see the bombing of the Moneda, but I saw it on TV. Tanks have covered all the streets, and you couldn't pass anywhere. But then we realized that all the leaders of the political parties in Punta Arenas had been taken to Isla Dawson, which is an island there that they created a concentration camp in. Then I start hearing about the well-to-do women that would march in the well-to-do parts of the city protesting. But 9 o'clock, no one was in town. And I remember crying, just walking, crying. I remember understanding it in a moment. And I could immediately see the horror. In the moment that happened, I saw the profundity of it and the definitive that this was, and how we were going to become a banana republic country. And so I remember the moment when they said on TV that Allende, I heard in the radio Allende's last speech. And then when they say that Allende was dead, and they show all of that on TV, and I cry like crazy, like howling, really. 2 days after they came and took me for interrogation. The military police. I am 19, just turned 19, and so three guys in a jeep in my and I was and I have my house in Punta Arenas. They did interrogate me, and they slapped me and did something, and then like in a movie. It was like a really very bad movie. You know what I remember? I remember me being very like never before, that sure of who I was and how I was not wrong, and they were very wrong. These people are not doing, this is not right. This is completely, you know, and of course, I did not know at the time that they were torturing people and they were doing those. You know what I mean? I have no idea that and during those days and those weeks, people disappear. People that was taken in that house, and you know that I learned that only uh, maybe 5 6 years ago by chance. I was always afraid to go back because they got me back home and they say, Joe, now you have your ticket to Santiago and you don't go back to Punta Arenas because if you go back here, we'll take you. And so I never went back during all the time that I lived here. There, I never went back to Punta Arenas. It made me to understand, in a way, it gave me an experience that made me relate to people that things happened to them that were worse. I mean, among the list of the disappeared, there are at least two or three that I know by name. And I lived the whole experience of what is to be in college under the military. It was horrible. I mean, you had to give your ID to a soldier with a machine gun at the one single door where the students can pass through, in and out. This sense of rightness was very strong. You know what I mean? We would, because because the things they did were very wrong. It was not political anymore. It was more ethical. We also have the image of Allende as a very ethical stand, and we sort of wanted to. I think that that was sort of a model for many of us. That notion of you do what is right. That next semester was when we did the strike. When we did the strike, they expelled us, 43 of us. And it was dangerous. Of course, it was dangerous. But on the other hand, it was so beautiful. Pinochet privatized all public education. So all of a sudden, then you have, this 3-tier kind of education. So we say, let's try a project where we could do a school that could be a good school in a area where there are poor kids. The project consisted in having a high school and workers' education program together. And during the day as a high school, and in the evening it was going to be a school for workers, or preparation for the workers, leadership school for union leaders. Peace, democracy, and citizenship, I would say, that they are participating. I would say, why don't we try to see if we can go into the Pinochet plan or the charter school, and we apply, and we got into become receive subsidy from the Pinochet government. The school became more and more a point of reference for the area. That notion of what is to be in a democracy. And the arpilleras at the time, well, at the beginning was all seemed very clandestine, and then little by little it became known. The Vicaría de la Solidaridad was like a safe place for everybody in every moment. We always knew that it was safe if you had to go there, but we admired the people that worked there because they were brave and risked their life. Basically, that's how we felt. And we admired their pilleras, and it was important, very important. Yeah. So then it's the end of the dictatorship, basically. I'm talking 1986, 87. I could smell the end of it. I knew that it was the end of it. I knew how much, I don't know, it was an international pressure. I knew how I knew that this was the last moment, really. Maybe three things I could explain what made me come to the United States. Because of I could see the end of it, I felt less of this pressure that I always felt that I had to be there. And I always felt if I am alive, it's because I have to be here. Because I always felt a duty for me to stay. So this is one thing. And the second thing is we receive many of people returning, and many of them became with PhDs from the most prestigious universities. And in my heart, I always wanted to be an academic. And in Chile, I tried when I was a high school teacher. I couldn't even go to grad school because of how expensive it was. That I was no longer necessary, that there were many more involved, and that I wanted to do this that I didn't do, get my PhD. But then the thing that made me move and happen was fear. That's what I was saying, that I had done things in my life moved by fear. By fear, I start having a plateless black car in front of my door in my house. The guy would see me, I would see him, or I go in and out. And I decided to move. And then here in the North Country, I don't know, we found a life at home. Mm-hmm.